kung meron ng tunay na portrait master at the mid-range, marahil ito na yon. Ito ang Vivo V30 at aalamin natin sa video na to kung ano nga ba yung bago dito compared sa Vivo V29 and kung dapat mo bang bilhin to ngayong 2024. Tingnan natin yan after this quick message. Ikaw ba ay nakapanood na ng mga videos ng Pinoy Techdad? Isa, dalawa, tatlo, o kahit ilan pa man yan, pero may mga naitulong sa inyo ang mga videos ko. Bakit hindi pa kayo nakapag-subscribe? Dahil marami pa akong ibabahagi sa inyong impormasyon na tiyak makakatulong pa sa inyo lalo at yung pag-subscribe nyo makakatulong rin sa iba pang viewers natin na kailangan ng tulong sa technology. Kaya inaanyayahan ko kayo kung hindi pa kayo nakakapag-subscribe, mag-subscribe na kayo dito sa Pinoy Techdad. Maraming salamat po. Wala pang isang taon since na-release yung Vivo V29, but here we are. We have the Vivo V30, and I would say it's almost the same thing, but there are minor improvements compared to the V29. So yan ang mga alamin natin in this video. Simulan natin with the build. So this one almost has the same body as last year's Vivo V29. So malipis pa rin siya, but the major improvement here is na maintain niya yung nipis ng last year's model with a higher battery capacity. So this one has 5,000 mAh of battery capacity compared to 4,600 mAh sa V29. And siguro the newest thing here is yung protection na ginamit nila dito sa display nila. So this one is using not a Gorilla Glass na protection, but a Shot Alpha. Now that's new to me, but apparently Shot is another brand that makes glass protection as well. And then makikita nyo dito sa likod na naging maliit na yung camera module niya. It's a square camera module with two lenses. Pero sa baba niyan, makikita natin na merong isa pang square. And this one is the Aura Light 3.0, which is much bigger than the Aura Light from the V29, which means medyo mas malaki yung light source natin just in case we need that extra lighting in darker scenarios. And if you're curious, yung back panel pala nito has a matte finish, so hindi talaga siya kapitin ng fingerprint smudges. Moving on, pag-usapan na natin yung biggest improvement nitong V30 over the V29, and that is when it comes to the performance. No, kung matatandaan nyo, yung V29 had the Snapdragon 778G. It was a great chipset, but then may mga tumaas yung kilay sa inyo dahil nga sa presyo. At 25,000 pesos tapos ng Snapdragon 778G, medyo mapapaisip ka, di ba? But this time around, mas generous ang nilagay nila na chipset dito. So we have the Snapdragon 7 Gen 3. At kung Antutu benchmark lang ang usapan, this one is a powerhouse, giving you around 814,000 Antutu benchmark points. That is over 300,000 Antutu benchmark points more than the Snapdragon 778G, which means this is a great performance phone at 25,000 pesos. But don't just take my word for it kasi sinubukan ko rin to sa 3D Mark Wildlife Extreme Test and it did really well. Mataas yung loop score niya at yung stability niya is really good. So kung maalala nyo, more of for casual gaming lang yung Vivo V29. But this time around, itong Vivo V30, I can say na kaya nyong isagad yung graphical settings, mapag-Genshin Impact man yan, Farlight 84, and you can expect smooth gameplay. Yun nga lang, based on my thermal testing, medyo mataas yung temperature na makukuha nyo with the V30. So, kailangan nyo ng phone cooler just in case na heavy gaming ang gagawin nyo dito. With Farlight 84, expect to get around 45 degrees Celsius na max temperature pag matagalang gameplay and nakasagad lahat ng graphical settings. With Genshin Impact, it's almost the same thing, around 44 to 45 degrees Celsius pag nakasagad lahat ng graphical settings and naka 60 FPS tayo. So yes, while this can handle heavy games, I would still highly recommend na gamitan nyo to ng phone cooler just in case na maisipan nyo na heavy gaming ang gagawin nyo dito. At syempre, basic lang po kung Call of Duty, Mobile Legends, and Wild Rift lang ilalaro nyo on this device, maning-mani lang po yun. Hindi po pagpapawisan itong Vivo V30 nyo. Okay, moving on sa display nito, so meron pa rin tong AMOLED na 120Hz refresh rate. Medyo mas mataas lang yung peak brightness and then may HDR10 capability pa rin tayo. So all good in the hood pagdating sa display nito. Napakaganda po at paniguradong mai-enjoy nyo ng todo lalo kung manonood kayo ng mga movies on Netflix kasi naka widevine level 1 na to. And activated na rin out of the box yung HDR10 capability nito. So apparently yung Netflix binibigyan tayo ng HDR10 na activation if pre-installed yung Netflix on a device. So this one, pre-installed yung Netflix, hindi na kailangan i-download pa, kaya available agad yung HDR10. Now, one thing about the Vivo V30 is that pwede mo pang i-increase yung resolution kasi by default, naka 1080p siya, but you can increase it to 1260p. So just in case nakukulangan kayo sa pixel density, pwede nyo pang i-increase. And then may kasama rin tayong visual enhancement for specific apps para mas lalo pa nating ma-enjoy yung panonood natin ng mga videos. And pagdating naman sa color modes or color profile ng display natin, meron tayong standard, pro, and bright na options. Now lastly, dapat nyo tandaan na naka-curved edge display pa rin ito. So kung hindi kayo mahilig sa curved edge na device, this might not be the perfect phone for you. Panigurado, marami sa inyo ang ini-expect na medyo mahaba-haba yung discussion natin pagdating sa camera kasi after all, this is a camera-centric device. But I'm gonna be disappointing you a little bit kasi kung ano yung nakita nyo with the Vivo V29, it's almost the same thing here sa V30. So we don't really see much of a change or improvement compared to the V29 except for maybe the selfie camera na meron ng 4K 30 FPS. Overall, the images are really good. Maganda po talaga yung image processing ng Vivo with their V series. Now, the only thing that you need to take note of is that while maganda yung colors, maganda yung sharpness, yung details, andyan na lahat, and maganda yung overall image processing ni Vivo, it's just that medyo mas mataas yung contrast ng mga shots ni Vivo. So that means your images might look a little bit darker than what you actually see in real life. Now, this isn't a big deal for me kasi pwede mo namang i-edit, pwede mo namang babaan yung contrast, pwede mong i-brighten yung image overall, but it's just something that I needed to say kasi mapapansin nyo talaga agad to if it's the first time that you're using a Vivo device. Pero tulad ng sinabi ko sa simula ng video, kung may i-consider tayo na portrait master or portrait expert, I would say, itong Vivo pa rin ang panalo pagdating sa mid-range. So, ito yung ilan sa mga sample shots natin with the portrait mode using the rear camera. And makikita nyo, may mga available rin na filters na ginamit ko dito. Para sa mga nag-aalala na masyadong malakas yung beautification filter pagdating sa portrait shots, pwede nyo po yung i-turn off tulad na lang dito sa sample na to. And I really do appreciate pa rin na meron itong aura light and it's much bigger. So mas maliwanag yung pwede natin makuha na shots. Just in case, sabi ko nga kanina na mas madilim yung scenario natin. And in comparison, ito po yung shot natin without the aura light, with the aura light, and with a flash. Sa video side of things naman, meron tayong 4K 30 FPS and it's very stable. Ito yung sample shot natin na nasa sasakyan ako and medyo matagtag yung biyahe ko niyan, but you can see na stable pa rin yung image na na-shoot ko with this one. And pagdating sa selfie camera, aggressive pa rin yung beautification filters natin, but of course, again, you can turn this off. And sa selfie video, 4K 30 FPS, ito po yung sample natin. Ito naman yung selfie video quality natin para sa Vivo V30. So, yung starting point ng video recording natin is naka 0.8 and pwede tayo mag-switch to one-time zoom. This one is the wider zoom. Ayan. So, actually, pwede pa natin zoom in up to 2 times. And okay pa rin naman yung quality. So, balik tayo sa 0.8. So, this is the widest na angle para sa selfie video natin for this one. 4K 30 FPS nga pala guys para dito sa Vivo V30, which is good for me. Okay guys, so yun yung mga samples natin with the Vivo V30. Overall, I would say the camera system on this is really good. Yun nga lang, medyo nakulangan ako na wala tayong telephoto lens at this price range, but nireserve nila yon para sa V30 Pro. And I will be making a review of the V30 Pro. Abangan nyo rin po yan dito sa channel. Kaya kung ako sa inyo, mag-subscribe na kayo dito sa Pinoy Techdad. Oh, and guys, bago tayo mag-move on sa next topic, nakalimutan ko na naman banggitin sa inyo yung ultra-wide. So yung ultra-wide nito is actually decent. It's just that medyo darker lang yung mga images na makukuha natin with the ultra-wide lens compared to the main camera. But it's actually decent. Finally, we can move on to the battery discussion. So, yung battery nito, 5,000 mAh of battery capacity and still very slim pa rin yung design and it still has the 80 watts of fast charging, the same with the Vivo V29. Guaranteed po, very long-lasting yung battery life nito for casual use. Lampas ng isang araw dito. For heavy gaming, of course, ibang istorya na po yun. So, maybe you can get around 6 hours of screen time for heavy gaming na mataas yung brightness, nakasagad lahat ng graphical settings. But overall, nagustuhan ko yung battery performance nito. And although you might say na hindi ganun kataas yung increase ng 400 mAh na battery capacity compared to the V29, but the big difference here is that this one is using a 4nm chipset compared to a 6nm chipset sa V29. So that means mas power efficient itong V30. Now before we end the video, a few other things that you might want to know about the Vivo V30. So this one is running Android 14 and on top of it is FunTouch OS 14. And out of the box, napakarami pong bloatware or pre-installed apps nito. Pero buti na lang, most of it, pwede nyo namang i-uninstall. Pero hindi ko lang talaga mag-gets bakit sagad sa mga pre-installed games or game recommendations itong Vivo V29. Pero sana lang in the future, mabigyan tayo ni Vivo ng isang device na wala gaanong bloatware out of the box para smooth sailing agad yung paggamit natin ng mga device nila. Meron din pala itong IP54 water and dust resistance and meron din itong hardware gyroscope for all you gyroscope gamers. And siguro the biggest complaint that I have is that at 25,000, mono speaker lang po yung nakukuha natin with the Vivo V30. And ito po yung sample kung bakit medyo nakakadismaya siya. Wala po tayong official na Google Pixel phones dito sa Philippines. Huwag kayo mag-alala kasi ito na po ang pinaka-abot kaya na phone ni Nothing. This is the Nothing. And at 18,999 variant at 2,999 pesos naman. So yun guys, hopefully nabigyan ko kayo ng enough idea about the Vivo V30 para makapag-decide kayo whether to get this or not. Pero para sa mga nahihirapan pa rin, kung naka Vivo V29 ka, you don't have to upgrade right now. Pero kung older Vivo device ang gamit mo, let's say 2 or 3 years old or older pa yung gamit mong phone ngayon and hindi ka na talaga satisfied sa performance pagdating sa overall gaming performance or even sa camera performance, then I would say the Vivo V30 is a great upgrade para sa inyo. At 25,000 pesos, makakakuha kayo ng magandang camera phone, maganda yung performance with the Snapdragon 7 Gen 3, and overall, yung build quality. And of course, huwag natin kalimutan na marami pong service center si Vivo dito sa Philippines. So it's a great value phone at the mid-range. Very powerful yung chipset niya compared to the other competitors at this price range. So kung decided na kayong bumili ng Vivo V30, nandiyan po sa link sa description box kung saan pwede itong mabili officially. And kung gusto pang manood ng mga videos ko, may mga ililink po ako dyan. Panigurado, magugustuhan niyo yung mga yan. So hanggang sa susunod, ako nga pala ulit si Janus ng Pinoy Techdad. Kita-kita ulit tayo. Yeah,